What is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new loot video for you all today. Today, I bring you guys loot from 1000 Obor. Now, as of June 25th, 2025, Obor no longer requires a giant key to be fought. However, the first encounter with him, you're still going to need a key to have permanent access to this boss. And they also updated Obor's drop table. It's been replaced with a simpler loot table similar to Hill Giants with an increased chance at a giant key as well as a chance of giant bones for members only. Obor's original loot table has been moved to a chest within his lair, as you can see in the corner there, and you're going to be able to open up this chest by using a giant key, and you can only open up this chest once you have defeated Obor. The only other update to touch on is July 2nd, which was just about 5 days ago. The drop rate of the giant key has been increased from 1 in 32 to 1 in 16. Now, since I'm going to try to kill 1000 Obor as fast as possible, what you're seeing on screen here is not bad. A rapier as well as Torva, but the fastest actual method is this method. As you can see, we run in with a Dragon Claw spec, and once we unleash both special attacks, you simply teleport out using a Desert Amulet or Construction Cape, and you go ahead and rejuvenate your special attack, and then with a Giant Soul Amulet, you teleport right back to Obor, and you simply enter the lair, and rinse and repeat. Just keep on speccing, keep on teleporting, and this is actually over 100 kills an hour with this method. Unfortunately for me, it took me the first 500 kills to remember this method, so first half of the video a little slow, second half much faster. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's cue the sponsor and then we'll get started. I do have some quick words from our sponsor today, Creator Crafted. First things first, these amazing air fresheners that were just released featuring the Slayer Masters as well as the fresh trees of Gillinor. Creator Crafted has Vanica, Neve, Duradel, and Konar for you to smell today, plus the magic trees, yew trees, redwoods, and more, featuring the best air fresheners for any skiller out there. Creator Crafted also just released the new Leviathan desk mat as well as the Runes desk mat, so I mean it's really no better time to check out Creator Crafted today, and make sure to use the link in the description and use code MrAntiPK for an additional 10% off. There are so many more amazing products to look at and choose from on CreatorCrafted.com, so make sure to click that link today, and a huge thank you to Creator Crafted for being a part of the Old School RuneScape community and for sponsoring today's video. Let's get started. Let's get started indeed. So as I mentioned before, the very first 400 to 500 kills in this video were all with Torva as well as Saradomin and Godsword, and this I guess is a decent way to look at it from a lower level perspective because most lower levels don't have access to a Desert Amulet or the Dragon Claw spec method that I was showing before. So in other words, if you can't do that method, another good idea is to basically get your best in slot gear and just bring food, potions, and whatever else you need. There's also a way to use range and magic at Obor, and you can really take advantage of the corners for that method, but that's mainly for lower levels. Anyone above, I'd say like 70 to 80 combat, can more than likely kill Obor, you know, easily. You just need to get a little bit of prayer potions, pray overheads, and some food will help you as well. And in no time, I was actually, with this method here, able to get about 80 to 85 kills an hour. So you don't have to do the teleport out method every single time. I also managed to get 8 keys in the first hour as well, so that's not too bad. You'll notice that you can always get these giant bones. It's 100% guaranteed drop from Obor, and it's 150 prayer XP every single time. I did decide not to bring a bone crusher, mainly because I just wanted to see those bones show up in the RuneLite loot tracker, and I didn't mind, you know, clicking one time every single kill. It really wasn't that big of a deal, so it is nice that we're going to get a guaranteed 150,000 prayer XP from this video, and we're also nearing 198 mil strength XP, so Obor will get me a little bit closer to 200 mil, but, you know, seeing as these kills are somewhat, you know, pretty fast and Obor doesn't have that much HP, this is not a good strength training method, but, you know, XP will add up over time. Well, here comes our 20th key. Just about 300 kills into the video so far, and that makes about 700 kills remaining. The only notable drop other than that is a Renar seed so far. But yes, there's 198 million strength XP, 2 million more until my third 200 mil. I was going to say my second, but this will be number 3 as a matter of fact. Yeah, as you can see, the loot here is not the greatest. I mean, if you want to bring a soul bearer and a bone crusher, that's really the only things I would recommend. If you're opening up the chest multiple times per inventory, I would recommend High Alch because you do get rune items from the chest, but we're not opening that up until the very end of the video, and we'll see what happens then, because I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of this update. As you can see, we're in the fast forward motion. This is when I learned about the Dragon Claw spec method, so yeah, this was probably about 110 kills an hour versus the 80 that I was getting before. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of how you have to kill Obor after every single time you open the chest. So essentially, let's just say we have 30 keys right now. I'm gonna have to kill Obor 30 more times after I open these 30 keys. I'm not too sure why they made it like that, but I definitely preferred how it was before, but that's just me. Let me know what you guys think about this update in the comments section below. Do you even care about the differences that they implemented, or is this actually something that you think is better than the previous way of killing Obor, as well as the keys? You let me know, because we are going to be working on 1000 Pyrophyta right after this one. Alongside that, we're still grinding on all the accounts, the alternate accounts, as well as a little bit of Armadil here and there on the main account. Still haven't gotten the pet, so that video hopefully will be uploaded before the month is over. Either way though, this was a very laid back grind. Obor doesn't really damage me that much. He just throws you against the wall, which is why I always try to be standing right up against the wall, so that way I don't have to be thrown around the whole entire time. At the end of the day, you just have to remember he's just a hill giant, just a little bit bigger, but he's just a hill giant. So very easy to kill, especially with Dragon Claws and max strength and, you know, max everything else, minus the cape. I still haven't gotten the Inferno cape back yet, but we will very soon. All right, there is 50 giant keys. Not too bad at all. The main drop that we want to see from opening up the chest, which we are going to do in about 250 kills from now, is the Hill Giant Club. It's over 1 million GP right now, and it is the rarest thing that you, well, I should say it's the most valuable thing that you can get from Obor. I think the rarest thing would be a giant champion scroll. That is also on Obor's drop table, so if you do need a champion scroll, you can always look to Obor if you don't feel like killing hill giants, and you know, that's a nice little perk that they added here. But here we are, 850 kills into the video, 150 more to go. As you can see in the inventory, we don't even really need food with this desert amulet method. I have put on a different set of armor. I kind of wanted to switch it up from Torva, and this armor doesn't really give that great of defensive bonus compared to Torva, but it gives you much better offensive bonus. So the Dragon Claw specs were landing much more accurately, and most of the time it just took 2 claw specs to kill Obor. I never needed to put the rapier on, only a few times here and there. Just depends on the zeros really, but as you can see, we are at 60 keys now. Not too bad, nearing the end here, and about 100 kills left to go until 1000, and then we will use all of our giant keys and see what we get from the chests. As you can see so far from this video, not a lot has been picked up from killing Obor itself, because there's not a lot of great drops other than that one Renar seed. Everything else is just like, you know, it's like a hill giant's drop table. All right, 50 kills left to go. This was, yeah, it was very laid back, but the only downside of Obor is, like I mentioned before, that Hill Giant Club is only worth about 1 million GP compared to that Pyrophyta staff, which is worth so much more. So with that being said, I can't wait to see what we get from 1000 Pyrophyta, but for now, 1000 Obor has been completed, 65 keys overall. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the Runelight loot tracker from 1000 Obor, and that loot will be separate. Then we will open up the chests. Here you guys go, 320k from 1000 Obor, the highlights being 9 Renars, 78 Natures, a long bone, 76 Limper Roots, a tooth key, a couple Snape Grass seeds, as well as, you know, the 1000 bones, which is about 150k prayer XP, as well as 65 keys. Didn't bother with the beginner clues though. Okay, let's go ahead and open up the chest. So 125, that is the first chest we've opened, and as you can see, Obor spawns just a few seconds after you open the chest, and you are unable to open the chest until you kill him again. If you teleport out, you simply have to come back in, kill him again, and then open the chest. It's the same thing. So essentially, after killing 1000 Obor and receiving 65 keys, we are now going to have have to kill Obor 65 more times just to open up the chest. So that's kind of the part that I just don't really like. I don't know. I prefer just kind of spam opening the chest, but it is what it is. I mean, you know, it's just a part of the update, I suppose. But this is where the real loot comes in. This is the rune items I was talking about before, the alkables, as well as the soul bearer. And my idea of never having to bank while opening up all these chests because of just stackable items, as well as the soul bearer and high alking the rune items, it didn't really work out because I still have to kill Obor every single time, which means that I'm going to get damaged. I'm not going to have all my spec like I was before, so I'm gonna have to keep tanking him and killing him. And so we're probably gonna open up all of these keys in like 3 different inventories. But as you can see, the loot is pretty common. I mean, it's just big bones noted, limperoots noted, as well as a cosmic chaos and a couple of other runes. You get a little bit of coins as well, some uncut diamonds and uncut rubies, and you can also get giant keys just from opening up this chest. So you will get more keys to open more chests. And you know, don't forget, you have to kill Obor every time too, which I just wasn't recording because I think I've shown you guys enough Obor kills in this video. So as you're opening up the chest, as you're killing Obor, you're just bound to get more keys. So the more keys you have, the longer you can stay, and the more keys you're probably going to obtain. But you know, just having a start of 65 keys, I think I ended up with like an extra maybe 5 to 10 keys. So it wasn't that much, but it did extend the opening a little bit longer. But that's okay. I think it took about an hour to open up all these keys while having to kill Obor simultaneously. The loot wasn't really that exciting. I mean, we still haven't seen the Hill Giant Club, but you know, it's much better than the actual Obor loot that we just shown on RuneLite. You know, these are at least valuable items. All right, used about half of all of the keys so far, and what do we get? There we have it, the Hill Giant Club. I will take it. I believe this is the 3rd club that I've gotten on this account. The other 2 obviously were prior to this update, just the normal way of killing Obor, and now we have gotten the 3rd club, so I'll take it. 1.2 mil. Following that, we got a rune kite shield. I would say other than the club, you're looking at, you know, a rune 2H as probably the best drop that you can get, and probably a rune kite shield would be right next to that. So yeah, as you can see, just a lot of other rune items, and I could have high-alked all of these, but I figured since I was banking anyway, I will just save them for the price check that we are going to do. We already showed what you can expect from 1,000 Obor normal kills, and now we are going to show the loot from all of the keys that you can get from Obor after killing him 1,000 times. The only thing I can say is I wish that they would add an Obor pet. I mean, they have no problem updating the drop table and updating how you kill it, how you open the chest, but they're not gonna add an Obor pet. Not today anyway, but maybe in the future, huh? Little baby hill giant following you around. All right, I am done rambling. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last key. What do we get? 110 cosmic runes. It's a shame that we can't end the video at 200 Obor, KC, but hey, I killed 1,000. All right, 2.3 mil overall from the loot. You take out the club and you're looking at about 1.1 mil, so not too bad. It took about 11 hours to do this video, so I don't know if we made any profit, but had I done the Dragon Claw spec method, I definitely would have probably made profit. But seeing as the first half I just used tank gear and a bunch of supplies, I don't think we made much. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was nice to explore this update. A big thank you to the YouTube channel members with a special shout out to DeceptionZ, xXzoticx, and DaeDogGaming. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. No Sleep out.